Randy here from 11/10 Racecraft. We have a customer's N55 M2 in for almost a full bolt-on. We're doing intake, charge pipe, downpipe, intercooler. All the items are from CTS, and we're doing a boot mod tune as well. We're able to actually do some testing on it on our dyno, so we're going to be doing a lot of before and after to see what the gains are, and let's find out what this thing does baseline. N55 should be about 350 to the wheel, I figure, and so we'll take it from there. Okay, so we did the baseline. Turns out the car was a healthy car, bone stock. It did about 349, 350 to the wheel on average, and about 390 torque. Not bad for an N55. So we're going to install the cold air intake and see what just that bolt-on does. No tune, just the intake. We installed the CTS cold air intake system on the N55. It was the first mod we did. It's actually a pretty nice looking system. It even comes with a cast aluminum MAF housing. Anyways, so we stuck it in and we threw it on the dyno. We did some dyno testing. Let's go check out the results. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky to discuss because we actually lost some horsepower on the dyno with the intake system. So the highest number we got on the baseline was just under 355, which is 354.7, and we got basically 351. So we lost about 3.5 to 4 horsepower with the intake. It did sound much nicer, and I do have to reiterate that it's an accumulation of different performance gains and parts put together that'll give you a better gain, a net gain. So it's not only just the intake, it's going to be the intake coupled with the intercooler, the charge pipe, and the downpipe. So we're really going to see what all these things put together. I'm not at all surprised that the intake didn't make any power, and it's unfortunate, but it did sound a lot better. And driving on the highway, maybe at highway speeds with like 100+ km/h wind, just kind of going through the grill, you might see more of a gain. It's something that's a little bit harder to replicate on the dyno here, even with our fans blowing on the car. So we'll do the intercooler and the charge pipe next, and we'll see what kind of gains that'll do. Okay, so while we're dynoing the car for the intake, I was only able to get 2 pulls in, and as I started the third pull, we noticed there was a lack of power. Then I tried it again and there's no power. And then we ran the scan and it turns out there was a boost leak. And lo and behold, the factory charge pipe cracked. So as one of the components in the full bolt-on build on this car is a charge pipe. Typically you don't get much power gain from the charge pipe. It's more of a reliability modification because the factory charge pipes are made of plastic and they tend to crack. So if we could take a look here, you can actually see where the part itself broke. So right down here, it broke and it came right off the throttle body here. So this is basically a broken plastic charge pipe, and we're going to be replacing it now with the CTS aluminum one, as well as the front mount intercooler. So just wanted to show you on a stock car with a stock tune, it just broke. So we kind of saved the customer a lot of headache, because if this happens on the side of the road, it's going to leave you stranded. You're going to have to get the car towed in. It's really hard to drive this with a major boost leak like this. It'll probably limit you to like 40 km/h, maybe. Anyways, so let's put those mods in and get it to the dyno again. All right, so we finally got the car back on the dyno. We installed the CTS front mount intercooler and the CTS charge pipe. So again, we're running a stock tune on this, and we're gonna basically stock tune. We're gonna be able to see, you can kind of see it says CTS down there, so that's what it is. Stock tune, we're gonna see how efficient the stock intercooler and the charge pipe is. We'll see if there's any gains at all to be made. And yeah, let's take a look. So dyno results are in. To recap, we got an intake, charge pipe, and from that intercooler, all from CTS. We gained about 10 horsepower to the wheel with the intercooler. I don't think the charge pipe actually gave us any power. It could have. We're splitting hairs here. But what's notable is actually the area under the curve here in the mid-range. So although there's a peak higher number, down here there's a considerable gain in power. And also at the high end here, you can see the airflow right closer to redline. So you get more efficiency from the front-end intercooler. So next up is the catless downpipe install. We'll see how efficient the stock cat is and if there's any gains without a tune. And then lastly, we'll do the tune with everything. And I'm sure we're gonna see some pretty big gains with the tune. Okay, so we got the catless downpipe installed. So at this point, it's almost full bolt-on. We got the intake, the charge pipe, the intercooler, and the downpipe. There's one item we're missing. It's actually back ordered from CTS's turbo inlet pipe. So maybe we'll do a follow-up video in about a month when that part comes in. But the exhaust sounds quite a bit different now with the downpipe. I'll do a cold start delete. We didn't do the cold start delete. I had to hear what it sounds like. Kind of muted the microphone. But let's see what kind of numbers it puts down without a tune. All right, so we got some really good results for the downpipe. I'm guessing the downpipe coupled with all the intake lets the car actually breathe really good, even though there's no tune on it yet. So we got about a 14 horsepower gain the horsepower, but we got a tremendous amount, about a 47 horsepower, torque, 47 foot-pound of torque gain, which is fantastic. The torque is pretty phenomenal. So we're gonna install a boot mod stage 2 93 ECU flash on there now, and let's see what kind of numbers we're gonna get. Okay, so we put the Boot Mod 3 Stage 2 93 octane catless tune on the car. Did a few dyno passes. We didn't get the gains we were hoping for, and then we spoke with the customer, and it turns out I thought the customer purchased the car new. He actually purchased it used, and I wasn't sure of the history. It did come with a BMW M Performance exhaust, so we're speculating that maybe it had the like an M Performance package, which has like a mild tune and the exhaust. Just because the numbers were a little bit high for all the bolt-ons that we put on. Right now, we only got about 15 horse and about 17 foot-pounds of torque. So I think the overall max was 388 to the wheel horse, which is still very reasonable for the N55 car. You're looking at about 450 crank with that. Customers interested in doing maybe some ethanol injection in the future. Anyways, it's not always the numbers, it's also just the torque and where the torque is actually in the rev range. So he's going to really enjoy the car, and there's going to be a tremendous gain, as well as he's going to put some, he's got some cracks and burble tune on there as well, which is what he was asking for. And he's able to take that off with the press of a button from Sport Plus to Sport. So anyways, customer is pretty happy, and the quality of the parts were fantastic. CTS, the fitment is fantastic. As a Canadian made product, we'd like to support Canadian businesses, and that's it. Thanks for watching.